At this point in your career, I'm sure that you receive a lot of different pitches and offers. What makes you say yes to a project?
Ooh, that's a good question. Writing, first of all, because we're only able to do our job based on something that's on the page. So you want to read it, and how I know if I really like it is if I start reading the character that I'm supposed to take a look at out loud. Because we don't read out loud anymore. You know what I mean? You just read in silence. So I'll start reading. And if it starts getting good, then the words that I'm reading taste good in my mouth. And so I start saying the words out loud, just even in my first read of it. That's like the first kind of inkling for me, like, oh, this is something. The other thing that I'm interested in is doing something I've never done before. And this is a woman whose story I have not told. You know what I mean? I've been mothers. I've been on the wrong side of the law. I've been a Keystone Cop. I've done a lot of different things. I've been a wife to Cedric the Entertainer on our show. But this particular single mother of a certain age, starting later in life, who is also a character who is fluid. I've never played that before. In Simone's world, it's more about the vibe than the gender. So there are so many different things that seemed interesting to me that I never played before. And with less than 1% of Black women making up FBI agents, their story, their voice, their face wasn't told. But this is the thing that will make little Black and brown girls say, I could be in the FBI. I want to do that. So it was multi-layered in terms of the reasons why I said, yes, please, and let's get going.
My question is for Terence and Alexi. I want to know, what was your inspiration in creating this series, especially in creating Niecy's character, a middle-aged Black woman in these particular circumstances? There's a lot of ways that this series could have gone, but what was your inspiration to direct it in this manner?
Terence, you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, we came up with, again, the whole thesis of The Rookie, which Alexi created, the original series, is about having a second chance. It's never too late to try to find that place where you want to go. And so when we were thinking about what's the next step of that, this character started coming to us, this idea of Simone. Alexi had this brilliant idea about making her former high school guidance counselor. And then we started playing a little jazz, he and I, about, okay, how about she's originally from Los Angeles, but then she went out to DC and now she's got to come back. And then the character of Cuddy came in and we're like, oh, this is gonna be a brilliant way to kind of have it be a little bit messy, but with love. And then what really hit was when Alexi and I were very fortunate to get a meeting, which wasn't easy, with Miss Niecy Nash-Betts. And when we shared with her what we had, and then she started joining our duo became a trio, and she started bringing all these brilliant, fun, delicious little pieces of specificity about who this character is. And we're like, oh yeah, we're taking that, and we're taking that. And then she even let us take some things from our own personal life, which was an honor, that she blessed us and said, hey, you can come, you can have this. And we were able to incorporate that into the story. And then it just made this fully fleshed out character of this woman who lives out loud, not asking for forgiveness, and just completely in her own, comfortable in her own skin. And it's just like this wonderful dynamic character, one that we just don't see enough of, especially on network TV, and especially with Niecy bringing her to life. It's gold. So that's where it came from. Alexi might have a little more details of stuff that I maybe missed out.
No, I mean, I think that's a great encapsulation. I mean, I just think that as a police show, in today's times, we're just really trying to be as self-aware as we can about, and this started back on The Rookie from its inception, but also, after George Floyd was killed, we took a hard look at ourselves and the stories that we had told. And I said this earlier, but I actually tasked a few writers with doing a report card, like go back through all our episodes and how did we do? I mean, did we, and for the most part, we did really well because we had always tried to be aspirational about cops doing things the right way. But at the same time, we were also portraying a version of policing that is alien to a big part of the population. And so that was sort of our mission starting in season 3 is how do we talk about policing? How do we have our characters grounded more in the real world of policing and the issues from systemic injustice to police union issues and all that kind of stuff? And so it was a natural progression for us going into FEDS, especially with Niecy as our star, to sort of like lean into that. I mean, the FBI has a long history of injustice and intemperance. And so how do we bring a character like Niecy into that world and put her in a special unit that is trying to shake things up? And just have her be, a woman who's used to being her own advocate because she had to be. How do you put her in that world and have her navigate through that? So, and at the same time, be a show that people look forward to watching and have fun with and is an escapist and all that. And so it's sort of a lot to carry, but, I feel like we can't be a police show in this day and age without being self-aware.